Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for DC reviews, and for these DC reviews I'll be covering Action Comics Superman by Mark Waid. I will not be covering the backstory, I repeat, I will not be covering the backstory in this. And Shazam issue 18. I will now get things ready and organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So, starting off with first things first. Does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, as we do learn as to what the villain is actually doing and causing a slight consequence in the present universe, that is, and the home that is housing Superman in the Phantom Zone. For it, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the internal art and also story, or what's also happening story-wise with the characters, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. So as the story begins, we end up catching up with all of the members of the Superman family, including the Bendis timeline John Kent. That is the Bendis timeline John Kent. We cannot forget that it is that one. And on top of that, we end up having Superman saving members of the super family. Advancing further into the story, we end up going to the location of the Watchtower, to which we also catch up with the character of the new Superman, King Kong, and also what he's doing. And on top of that, we move towards the end, to which Superman has had to go to the Earth's yellow sun to try to, in essence, revive the strength of the sun, in a process to which things that are connected to the Phantom Zone, the criminals that were in there, are now released, and now we've got a super situation with some supervillains versus superheroes. For the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10, as I quite enjoyed the art in this story. Next is the area of the story rating. So first things first, considering how far we are issue-wise, did we get any comic book references to any previous issues that might be important to this story or run? The answer is no, we didn't. Next is the area of time, to which we had 20 minutes later being addressed. The locations that we got to see within the story were Metropolis, the Fortress of Solitude, of course the Watchtower, and Kandor. Last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of John Kent, King Kong, Supergirl, of course, Connor Kent, Superman, the Mr. Terrific, and also Flash and the members of the Justice League. For the overall rating, I give it a 6 out of 10, as I do feel it would have made a little bit more sense in the story if in the Phantom Zone, like within the Phantom Zone, maybe it had captured a sun of its own, to which it was actually starting to degrade, and it might have required a new sun instead of using the sun that's connected to the Earth. With that, it doesn't sound in any way reasonable possible with how the story has sort of set it out. Now, I understand what the writer's trying to do. It could have used a little bit more creativity within the story. Now it's time to move into Shazam issue 18. So as we move into Shazam issue 18, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? In some essence it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we learn that the monster society of evil is at work, wanting to take out the members of the Shazam family. And of course, we've got everyone trying to pull in their weight and to help save the day. As we draw close to the middle of the story, we are meeting some consequences with the character of Shazam himself, to which Billy then has to somewhat intervene. And last but not least, towards the very end, to which we meet one of the people connected to Savannah, or Savannah, as he has, to which they have now taken captive of Mary Marvel. For the internal art, I give a 6.5 out of 10, as I felt like it could have been picked up, or at least a little bit more time and effort put into the art panels to work in relation to the story. Next is in relation to the story itself. Did we get any comic book references to any of the previous issues or something that might be important to this story? The answer is no. Next is the area of time. Did we get anything addressing time-wise as to maybe where it might be taking place throughout the day, or if it's connected to a past event of such? Not at all. Location, no idea how everything's taken place. But the one thing we did get was the key cast of characters who played a role in the story. Of course, Mary Marvel, the Monster Society of Evil, Billy Batson, Freddie Freeman, who has been brought under some control by the members of the Society of Evil, and of course, last but not least, we have Uncle Marvel. For the overall story rating, I give it a 6 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.